Right, hi, I'm Vicky Roy, speech-language pathologist and co-owner of Dynamic Therapy Specialist. So today I want to talk to you about reflex integration and auditory processing disorders. How do these two work together? At Dynamic Therapy Specialist, I oftentimes get asked, well, why are you looking at reflexes when we do our auditory processing evaluation? And it's important to understand the auditory processing system. And oftentimes I'll talk about the auditory system with the visual system at the same time because they're very close in the brain where the information is processed, and they do function very similarly. When we're looking at auditory processing, and we're trying to decide, do we have an auditory processing disorder, or is there something more foundational that is causing the auditory system to not work as efficiently as it should? And so in order to understand this, I have to back up a little bit and help you to understand the system itself. So the auditory processing system is designed to function differently in times of stress and when you're balanced. And so when we are experiencing stress, whether or not it's because of true stress or true danger or perceived, so the role of protection and survival in auditory processing, when we are in a balanced state, our auditory processing system should be able to filter out or ignore subtle sounds. So I'm in a classroom, the teacher is talking, but my friends are moving around. Maybe someone's clicking a pen, maybe the air conditioner's turning on, maybe someone's moving their legs. When I am feeling safe, when I am balanced, when my system is not perceiving danger, it doesn't have to be true danger, I should be able to easily pay attention to a primary source of auditory information and ignore subtle sounds. However, when I am in a state of stress, when my system is perceiving stress, again, real or unreal, my system functions differently. So in protection and survival, our auditory system should pay attention to everything. So think about hunting and gathering days. If I am hunting or if I'm being hunted, I need to listen to all the sounds, not just any particular sound. I need to be able to focus on everything, all the sounds around me, so that I don't get eaten or so that I can eat something else. That makes sense. And just thinking about protection and survival. With that connection of recognizing that protection and survival will signal the auditory system differently in times of stress than in times of balanced state where I'm not perceiving stress. So in our clinic, we look at reflexes because we know that reflexes lay the foundation for protection and survival. They are the beginning of learning and development, and they are going to contribute to the way that the auditory system processes. So not only are we going to look objectively, we're gonna put headphones on and we're gonna do an auditory processing evaluation, we're also gonna look at reflexes, because if you have a system of unintegrated reflexes, you are having to work harder, the brain is working harder to do things that it should be doing automatically, then you're going to be signaling protection and survival. When I am perceiving stress, increase production of adrenaline and cortisol, I'm going to have the blood from my core is going to rush out to my arms and legs. Why? Because I'm preparing for fight or flight. There's a whole system that happens. In addition to, my ears are gonna wanna listen to everything. So when we're diagnosing an auditory processing disorder, we want to understand, is the system inefficient? Do they have a history of ear infections? Are we seeing a system that's not efficiently processing sound? Or alternatively, do they have a whole bunch of unintegrated reflexes? Are they signaling protection and survival more often than they should? And therefore the ears are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. They are listening to everything. So I look like I have an attention difficulty in class. I look like I have difficulties focusing. I look like I have difficulties learning. I look like I have behavior problems because my system is working so hard that then my emotional regulation is breaking down. But is it because I have an inefficient auditory processing system? Or is it because my reflexes are unintegrated and I'm having to use front cognitive resources to do the things that I know that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm a good kid. I know I'm supposed to be sitting in my chair right now. I know I'm supposed to be paying attention. I'm using all my energy to do that instead of focusing on what the teacher is saying. It might look very similarly. My eyes might be looking up. I might be focused or directed in the right direction. However, because I know I'm not supposed to be walking, I know I'm not supposed to be standing up, I know I'm supposed to be sitting in this chair, and that's not happening automatically for me, my system is signaling protection and survival in order for me to think about staying in the chair versus it happening automatically. Therefore, I have less energy, less resources available to process what I'm hearing, to pay attention, to focus, and to attend. So if some of this is sounding familiar to you, if you know a child or you yourself are struggling with auditory processing, you can go on our website and you can complete this screener, which will ask you some specific questions to help determine whether or not this is something that you want to look into further. You can also give us a call at our office, and we are able to complete comprehensive auditory processing evaluations where we would be able to put together a remediation plan that would be able to help you yourself or your child if these are things that you are struggling with.